Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Gina and I'm on number 25 and 26 of 100 days of creating. And I know we're almost at 100 in real time, but in Gina's time, this is where I'm at. I am starting off using a pallet stick today. I decided to cut it into itty bitty pieces. Supposed to be rectangular pieces, but you know, kind of had some issues. Some of them were breaking up in places they shouldn't have been, but that's okay. And I'm using tacky glue to stick them down. I was actually inspired by the print on the page, and I just felt like having some greater texture on this page to start with, and then see how things go from there. So what I'm doing is just building 2 rows of a quote-unquote wall, and I just felt that kind of mood. I didn't know where I was going to go after, but I just know I wanted to do this wall thing because of the pattern on the page, which I love. And instead of just putting it on the, going in the middle of the page, I thought I'll add some more interest in some of the corners. So I'm adding some down below on the right page, and I didn't realize you couldn't see the entire book. Even though it's so small, it's almost like 5 by 5, but anyway. And I'm doing some on the top right side of the right page as well. So I went searching for the stencil that's on the left, but I couldn't find it. So I'm using this one. I know it's not the same, but I'm trying my best to maneuver the stencil to try and get it as similar as possible. I couldn't remember the kind of paint that I used, so I'm just kind of guesstimating and trying to figure things out to try and make the 2 pages look, like if it's one consecutive piece, even though it's a different stencil and it's different paint, different shades. So I'm pushing parts of my page to the background, trying to make sure those things are really stuck down. And I thought I would use a stencil. I pulled out some people stencils, so I have them off to the side waiting. And I thought as you all would probably know, for those of you who are accustomed, I hardly use my washi tape. That is something that I really need to work on because I don't want them to spoil on me. So I thought I'd use them today. It's just 2 small pieces, but I thought it could be cool because what I'm trying to do is create like a horizon-ish line, sort of, something like that. So then I thought, let's get some color in between these quote-unquote bricks, right? I just want to get some color in between there. So I'm using black because I just love black. And my page is not covered with anything, it's raw. So it's sucking up all the paint and all the water. And every time I do this, I think I should probably use some, even if it's just to cover the page in white paint before, but I really should try and use some gesso because I do have the clear texture gesso and I really should use it, but I always forget. I just start, and then when I add water and paint, I'll be like, shucks. So I have many more pages to go, so I'm sure I'll get it at some point. At least one page will get some clear texture just so. Right, so I'm adding some of those things down below. I'm just, because I want to see the pattern of the quote-unquote brick. I want to get all in between there. I want it all nice and juicy and deep and rich and yummy. Then I thought, it's been a while since I used my script stamp, so let's add some texture to my page. I kind of found that it matched the washi tape to a small degree. I guess because of the fine lines and, you know, I know the washi tape is like, it has teepees and houses and the sun and stuff like that, but you know, I just wanted to add some of that extra black script because I just love it. And then I'm adding this stamp that I've never ever used. It's a building or buildings very close together with a very pointy roof, and I thought, hey, let me create some buildings in the background because this is my quote-unquote horizon, and I want to create something like a landscape-ish sort of, you know. But yeah, I wasn't trying to make it too landscape-ish, but I was just thinking, let's add some buildings in the background and stuff like that. Yeah. So here I want to actually, instead of just using the stencil, I want to actually use the cutout from the stencil. So I'm using Mr. Man here to actually make another cutout, and obviously I'll get a stencil from it, which is so cool. So I'm working on creating some men that I could actually stick down on my page. Yeah, these men, some of the limbs look really strange. It looked like they were morphing into, you know, an alien. The hand looked really weird. The head looked really weird because I made some bad cuts, but it'll do. It's my book. It's my journal, which I'm loving. So it'll do. So I'm going to paint them black because I want them black. And I was going to do it on the plastic, but then I thought, ooh, that's a nice background, so I'm going to do it on the paper, so I'll use the paper in another project. The outline from, you see that paint outline that's happening there? I was like, yeah, I could use that somewhere else. I'm going to definitely. Look at that. That's so cool. Okay. So I have this big plastic stencil that I made some time ago, And I'm going to put him big, nice and big on the page. And you could tell that he's looking at you. You know, he's standing to the side and he's looking at you like, you know, you could just imagine what he's thinking based on whatever it is happening in your life right now. Yeah. He's just looking at you. And so this kind of reminds me of God, right? Because, you know, God is big and all consuming and all powerful and almighty and just all. And if this represents the world or a certain part of it, you know, he's bigger, obviously, than it. And then comes these little people, these little men that I'm trying to fit on the page. And they would obviously represent us, the people of the world. And God is looking at us. God is looking on. And we are in his presence. So that's my take on it, my perspective. And I think it's pretty cool and I like it a lot. Yeah, I do. I really do. And what's pretty cool as well is that inside of him is lighter than other parts of the page. I found that so cool. So with this man, he wasn't standing out at all. So I decided to give him a white border, which I actually really liked when I started. I was like, yeah, this looking real cool. And I was praying that I don't mess it up because my hand usually slips very easily when I'm doing this edging thing. So I was just praying that my hand didn't slip, and it didn't. At least, you know, it was fine enough for me. I was like, yes. So that was good, and I loved how he looked there. And I'm going to put him, so you know, it's like they're walking on, they're just living their life, doing their thing, and walking along. And God is looking on. This big man is walking along. So I like how he looks there. I'm satisfied, I'm happy, and I'm just going to stick him down. And I like how the other guy looks on the left, so I'm going to stick him down as well. He's not going to get a border because the page is light. That part of the page anyway is lighter. So he stands out enough for me, personally. I'm just going to give them a little ground to stand on. I'm using the white because the page is a bit dark. And I was like, yes, that looks so cool. And then I thought this wall looks really... I didn't like the color, even though it ties in with the yellow on the right side of the page. It felt like it needed some more color. So I thought I'd start by just doing some red on the left. And I was going to do all the tiles, but then I thought maybe I could kind of fade out closer to the middle. So I spent some time trying to fix that, and then I couldn't forget the pieces on the right and at the bottom. So I'm just adding some red there as well, and I'm going to try to blend things in. And this is when I decided, okay, I'll do the right side too. I hope it looks good, but we're gonna go all in. So I'm just putting in some, and I'm going to try my best to leave the center part lighter. And I'm going to mix in, I'm using acrylic paint, and I'm going to mix in some white in between and just try and get things kind of blended. All the while, this wood palette it's like a sponge. It just sucks up this paint like, whoa. It's like you lay it on and it just all, wow. Yeah. So I really need to try and remember to use my gesso. So I'm trying to add some more paint in the middle of the tiles because I don't like that I could see so much lightness, but it's kind of filled in with glue as well, so there's only so much the paint could actually do. And I'm also trying to put back in the black edges on my tiles so that there'll be more contrast and you'll see the shape of the tile better. You know, it looked more bricky. Yeah. So I'm just adding some black. I'm trying my best to add black in between the tiles and at the edges of the tiles. And as you can see, I seem to have forgotten the tiles at the bottom right. Page on the right page at the bottom, but I'll remember eventually. I finally remembered them. I was like, oh my gosh! But yeah, I finally remembered them, and I was kind of wondering if I should kind of fade out these a bit, but I was like, nah, it's small, it's fine. You know, we could do with some red in other places other than just the middle. So I do like how that looks very much. Quite pleased. Wasn't what I had in mind. So I had an idea, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's usually how it happens. And yeah, I really, 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 really love this page. These pages, I decided that I would use them separately. And they could stand alone as well as together. So let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the process. I hope you were able to create as well and you were inspired too. And I am looking forward to your comments on this one. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video.